rarely in the cinemas. Again, it's something that can only be called a sound financial decision, right? A sound financial decision. Now I've got to find the video. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Only on February 20th, apparently. Shooty. One horse wonder shooty. This will be fine if you had played Doctor Who not like a gay bloke. This will be fine if you had played everything not like a gay bloke. But now you're a gregarious gay, and I get it's Oscar Wilde's play, but I'm getting the vibe. This is a little bit more graphic than Oscar Wilde would have been into. I don't know.
It had always been a girl.
Like, even when he's dressed as a bloke, he's dressed as like, where is it? Kind of a gay John Pertwee. Again, look at this. Try not being sexual. How about that? Can you do that? I mean, here, why is he dressed like a gay John fucking Pertwee? What the fuck?
It's been a girlish dream of mine to love someone whose name was Ernest.
There is something about that name that inspires absolute confidence.
Like, okay, the colorblind casting is an interesting choice that I can get behind. Okay, and this would be fine if it wasn't everything all the time, ever. This is what I call queer supremacy, where everything has to be queer. Everything has to be queer. Everything has to be queer. Really? Oh, fuck me.
My name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country.
You look as if your name was Ernest. Most earnest-looking person I ever saw in my life.
That's the best acting I've ever seen him do. And he sounds normal. That's literally the best acting I've ever seen him do in his life. My life, I should say.
I am in love with Gwendolyn. I've come up to town expressly to propose to her.
Again, the colorblind casting I'm fine with, right? I'm fine with, like, going from a pool of your best talent, and there's a lot more black people in that pool now, right? Obviously, I'm totally fine with it. But, like, why is everything gay? Look at that. Gay Times gives that 5-star. Guardian, it's about the same as the Gay Times. Like, why is the Gay Times on there? Yeah, look, everybody giving these 5 stars is like saying, oh, you're gay. I know you like gay, but what happens if you're a bit sick of the gay? Maybe, I don't know.
You could hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter to marry into a cloakroom.
Again, I find that an interesting artistic choice. A very valid artistic. I mean, having that, the handbag lady be Western Caribbean, right? That kind of works. I mean, in today's world, that works.
I wanted to be engaged to Gwen.
This I'm sick of, right? I'm enough with this bullshit.
To Gwendolyn, that is all. I love her.
Well, I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. That is all. I adore her.
Really? How about you not being a gay fuck bunny for 5 minutes? How about you just act? Right? Have you thought of that? Have you thought of not using your oiled pecs as a artistic choice? Have you? I don't know. I don't think you have. I don't. I really don't, mate. And like the costume, fuck off. Stop already.
I have now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being...
Yeah, I'd rather have a finger shoved up my ass, mate. Oh, fuck me. Oh, shooty, fuck off. And I say that as a Doctor Who fan, fuck off. Oh, just so deeply fuck off. Let's have a look at this. He is, but he's not going to fuck off quick enough. I mean, he's done being Doctor Who. I will be amazed if he does season 3. I've been wrong about many things. I would be amazed if I saw season 3. Let's see how they span the absolutely awful ratings, right? It means you start focusing on everything I do. The second and final season of Doctor Who. Millie Gibson, she's in one episode. Brother See-Through. Oh, I like a lot, actually. We have some house cleaning when it comes to Nicola Coughlan starring Stephen Moffat Penn special Joyce the World. And look, I'm of the opinion that my there are a few other things that I really makes it dated that I wouldn't be able to go back to it, like the mansplaining thing, right? But generally speaking, as a Christmas special, the only thing that failed with this is shooting Gatwa. I think if you had look, he's just not very good at being the Doctor. Maybe he could have been, right? I don't know, but he just should have played it straight. Like, straight, not queer. Then that really was the undoing of his, like, maybe he could have been a great actor. Maybe he could have been a good actor, right? I don't know. But yeah, he was the thing that failed in it. No, I don't think the script. And again, there were things that were annoying about it, right? So how did the holiday special review-wise? Very badly. Earlier today, they released the figures of the 6th most watched program during the 7-day stretch on TV. People don't watch TV anymore, right? In terms of where it ranks, it's like saying, when you mention the Pakistani Muslim rape gangs, they go, wait a minute, 85% of paedophilia in England is done by white people. Well, yeah, it's a vastly white majority country. But we're talking specifically about racist rape gangs, right? That rape people rape little girls because they're white. That's 85% Muslim Pakistani, isn't it? Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah. That's what they always try and like change the ball, the playing field. Fine. Now, having said that, in today's landscape, I think the people at BBC are quite happy with the result. This is like, fuck off. Well, yeah, you're not getting another 100 mil out of us, mate. You're done. They promised them the world. Where are we up to? So they've got 5.9 million viewers. Again, I look at the spin. We placed it behind Gavin and Stacey. By how much? By what, 11 million? And what is it got motive an outnumbered Christmas special? Outnumbered also beat it. That's not good. So in comparison to Church we got 7.4. Yeah. Although to be fair, it was also Gatwa's first run as a Doctor. People were curious and they tuned out, and they didn't. So that's 1.5 million people tuned out and didn't come back, right? And that's with it being a lead in to Wallace and Gromit and after Strictly, right? You could not have given it a stronger spot, and it still did worse, right? But again, at the BBC, they talk bullshit to themselves mainly. They tell them they did quite well. Oh God, people are such assholes. And why? Because it's too fucking gay. It's like I'm sorry. There's a very limited audience for queer Doctor Who. Oh, I love to see what the figures of ratings were really like, without the bullshittery. What they got was were baked in the number. Of course, there's also Disney Plus factor because looking at numbers, though the streamers can be a bit wonky reporting their numbers. They're doing shit. You know how they're not doing shit because of Disney aren't saying it's the greatest thing ever. Here, have another 2 seasons. Doctor Who season 2, excellent era, weapon returns and more. That doesn't mean there wasn't time to look ahead. Doctor Who magazine 611. Rusty Davis with a theme 12 Days of Christmas. They just 612 out. RTG teaser acronym. 12 episode accounting of season 2, episode 1 is TRR. Okay, and interior cutaway. Was there? So in episode 8, scene 10 reads interior cutaway, metal door. Rhapsody, but wait till you find out what's behind metal door. Not to mention doors 1 and 3. Okay, I don't know. Niners eras. This is just, wait a minute. They already went through this, didn't they? Man, this is how little interest and news there is in Doctor Who right now. Right? Nobody cares. Right? Super nobody cares. And I think it's a fair point they're making. Well, so RDT is a weapon on the Christmas Exodus 9th Doctor. We're about to make a terrifying return. Okay, well, that's what I bet it's from Dalek when it was going through all the different weapons that weren't working. And wow, what a comeback. 8 shows are glimpsing. They're not confirmed until Rusty actually airs, but we could be getting season 2 trailer over. But come on, we got a shit trailer. I'll leave us alone with this. Really? I mean, this is just a pathetic, empty article. Wait, I had like mainstream site do had a Doctor Who story. Was it this one? Yeah. Oh no, it's Captain America. My mistake. Hang on. Cynthia everyone wants to play Storm. Well, here's the thing. I recalled when I first heard that, but I remembered that she was much more normal in Wicked than she is in real life, right? No more joy. Christmas special proves no one cares about Doctor Who anymore. Reports Bleeding 4. What's the general sci-fi landscape? Doctor Who has been on a downward slide for recent years, last 7 years. It's really sad. And that didn't change at all with the most recent Christmas special, Joyce the World. As someone who's been a devoted fan for a long time, it's tough to see the show I used to love not living up to the percentage. I do find the viewpoint of Americans fascinating. All right, I think which is what assuming this is. Let me feel like the overnight viewership for Joyce the World hit a low point at 4.11. Yeah, it's the lowest one ever. I'm sorry, which is really sad when you think about the particular how popular the show used to be, and it could be again. All you have to do is play him again. Ncuti would have been fine. He just had to not be queer. Can he do that? I don't think so. A number of people who watched it within a week, not looking much better, which isn't a great sign of the show's future. I do not think it's going to get a season 3. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, how can it not, though? I mean, the BBC really need... Maybe we rested for a couple of years. Or maybe, look, BBC, they will just keep on doing the same shit. They don't care, do they? They're like, no, we're going to do the same old shit. The downturn isn't just happening out the blue. It's been going to Jodie Whittaker, first ever female Doctor. Her first ever had 10.96 million. Yeah, that was a little bit. I mean, look, Capaldi was getting about 7 million at the time. But in the season dropped to 6.65, and it went way lower than that. Ncuti was only got 4 million tuned in. Yeah, I wonder why. Like, this was such a mistake. I'm sorry. Again, it's queer supremacy. Everything has to, if it's not queer, it's no good. Right? And why do you think you need to, like, make gay people more accepted in society? You're making them less accepted in society. Nobody had a problem with gay people 25 years ago, you dumb cunts. Oh, until queer supremacy. The last Christmas episode was basically a perfect example of what's wrong with Doctor Who these days. The story with Doomsday Gizmo that just didn't have the same cleverness and punch to the show's known for, like Doctor's 11th Doctor Christmas Carol or 2014 Last Christmas. Honestly, I disagree with him. I think it was Ncuti was a problem. I don't know, whatever you think. I mean, like my opinion, I think Ncuti was a problem. I mean, okay, half of me would like to see, what's his name? Cosplayer. Works a lot for Big Finish now. Oh, he's a really good cosplayer. I can't remember his name. Dominic Martin. I'd like to see him as the Doctor. Like, I bet if you put him in that episode, it would have been better instead of a Ncuti. Honestly, I think it would. I really think it would. Yeah. See if we can find a clip of him playing Doctor Who. And then the other half of me doesn't want to in case he's not good. Dominic Martin, Doctor Who. it's just him being. But didn't he play Doctor Who in some fan fiction, like fan films? I thought he did. No. There's a Who Knew podcast. No, I can't find it. I really thought there was some fan fiction where he played the Doctor. Well, apparently not. Can't find. If there is, I can't find it. Right, I can't find it. But I know, like, he cosplays the Doctor, and he come back here. Like, he's an actor. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the villain. Fine. Doctor's guest goes on emotions instead of being clever hero for the fans' love. Well, again, I think that's the problem with Gatwa's performance more than anything else, don't you? Yeah, I think it's the problem with Gatwa's performance. Okay. So just reflecting upon that. And let's talk about the villain or lack thereof. That's actually a problem. Plus, the whole problem-solving thing in the episode. Super disappointing. It's nothing compared to the classic like 2015, the Husbands of River song, which had the perfect mix of fun and brainy plot twists and also features 12th Doctor. That makes a big difference, being the 12th Doctor, right? It really genuinely makes a huge difference. The BBC isn't helping either. They're being super shady about releasing viewer satisfaction numbers for the last season. Well, they just did, right? Which makes you think they're not... And they weren't bad. They weren't good, though. That's the thing. None of them were good. None of them were, like, above 80, I believe, right? Doctor Who was getting 85 and above when it was doing well, right? None of them are good. But they weren't bad either, right? But can Doctor Who afford to be mediocre? That's really the question. And honestly, I don't know. Like, can Doctor Who afford to be... I think maybe the answer is no. Right? I think the BBC will still keep making it, even without even without Disney. I don't know. Well, we're doing it. Isn't that even fine? Shady with the numbers. Looking at last season, things are pretty uncertain. The season only got 2.25 million. That was very bad, and that's not good. Yeah, no, it's on its knees, right? And they keep saying no, it's doing great. Oh, fuck off. We know you're lying. Like, just the same way we know Keir Starmer's lying when he's like, no, we don't need to investigate these Muslim rape gangs. No. Nothing to do with his need for the Muslim vote. Doctor really needs to get back to its roots and remember what it's made of, what made it special. But with Disney involved, the odds of that, they're not for that much longer. Special will return anytime soon. It should be about adventure and imagination, not about pushing social messages. Oh, God. Again, that's why I was so annoyed with Slow Horses, right? Because it was just propaganda. I'm sick of it. Unless the folks in charge of BBC and the show's team can get that straight, the future isn't looking so bright for the favorite time traveler. I tend to agree. Let's hope they can find a way to bring back the magic before it's too late. I hope they do, right? I genuinely hope they do. Such a one-horse wonder. And it's amazing what a one-horse wonder he is. And it's not really a particularly interesting horse, right? I'm going to be a black gay guy. Well, okay then. Doctor Who, the dilemma of keeping a 60-year-old franchise fresh. Well, here's the thing. There's fresh and there's authentic, and you've got to do both, right? The way you keep it fresh and the way it's kept fresh for its pretty much its entirety of its run up until now. Well, yeah. Is by you change the production team every few years, and it just is very contemporary. Like William Hartnell was very contemporary, right? They changed style very much in season 2, and then they changed it again for season 4 when Patrick Troughton started. Oh, right, and then the biggest reinvention was season 7, right? Again, very different. Then you had season 12, Tom Baker's first season. Very, very different beast, wasn't it? I mean, especially they started getting to the gothic horror, the Hinchcliffe years. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff worked fantastically, right? And then Tom Baker, he kind of mutated it through the middle. And then you had Peter Davison, very 80s, right? The trouble is, what happens when it plugs into the cultural zeitgeist and the cultural zeitgeist is then shit? there's not talented enough people to manage it, because that's what I'm with the Colin Baker years, right? Colin Baker, oh man, if I could have gone back in time, all right, and pitched Eric Saywood, or actually, Eric Saywood, because this would have got him going for Colin Baker. So I would say to him, look, Doctor Who works best when it's when it's on the cutting edge of cultural, cultural drama, cultural entertainment. So what was big in the mid 80s? Very, very, very naturalistic, primarily London-based, crime thrillers. That was big in the and EastEnders. Everyone loved Dirty Dan. They were like gritty crime thrillers in the mid 80s. I would say. So, this was the idea that they sort of had for Sylvester McCoy if they did a season 27. But, like, you could have started with Attack of the Cybermen, right? And he ends up on Earth, but something goes wrong with the TARDIS and he gets caught on Earth. Anyway, and then he gets rescued by this, like, underworld boss from the Cybermen at the end of at the beginning of the second episode. They look like he's going to be killed. And it turns out there's a, like, private unit being funded by mafia doings, right? And there's the boss knows the Doctor, and then at the end of the season, you go back to the 60s and you see their first where they meet. Well, in that context, it would have really genuinely have worked, right? And I think the Colin Baker years would have gone down a lot better. Like, again, he's in a unit that's funded by illegal, by a mafia boss. I kind of like that. I like that idea more and more. Yeah, and they're going to introduce this with you had replacing Ace. They were going to have Ace go off to the Gallifreyan Academy in an Ice Warrior story. They had this, again, a very cool idea of having all these 1960s bikers, but they were wearing, Ice Warrior helmets, so all kind of like Seg did. And it was all like a test center to the Time Lord Academy to reinvigorate the Time Lords and Ace, right? But the next companion was supposed to be like a Lady Christina D'Souza sort of thing, and she was going to like be breaking into a high society, was it party, a safe, breaking into a safe during a high society party, and inside would have been the Sylvester McCoy. So what took you so long? I mean, again, and she would have been the daughter of the mafia boss who was like bored. He wants her to go straight or be straight and send her to all the best, finishing schools, and she wants to be a criminal. Right, that would have worked really well with Sylvester McCoy's Doctor. But yeah, that's how you keep it fresh. Sadly, and the 2005 season, right? It was the least like Doctor Who, but it was so contemporary. 2005, right? Matt Smith era, just perfect, right? Absolutely perfect. And it's kind of lost. Yeah, since Jodie, it lost its way. Because it's leaned to because the prevailing cultural winds were destructive, and they said just destroy the past. Everything is bad, right? So you got to have enough skill to know when not to go with the cultural side, just and go against it. Honestly, if this had just been, if Ncuti Gatwa was in it playing straight, or like non-sexual, and it was just great stories with no gay, no queerness in it. Right, no Yasmin Finney, no Millie has a mate who's a trans person, a band, like none of that stuff. No gay dance scene to introduce the Doctor. A Doctor acting like a Doctor, not like your gregarious gay mate, right? That would have been, and honestly, they could have had it all. They could have had it all, and they fucked it all up. They really did. And the idiocy of making the show for TikTok is just dumb. They would have been much better to make their own TikTok season as well. Like, again, like same kind of production values as Night of the Doctor, right? And like, I don't know, 5-part, 3 minutes long each story. And if it was good, it might get an audience, right? And that would really do the trick. And I can see having Yasmin Finney in that because that'll bring a TikTok audience. But sadly, they just fucked it all up. So let's see what they got to say. Doctor Who has 2 eras and 2 sets of fans who now complain that the current show isn't as fresh or new. It's tired. That's again, it's not as fresh and new. It's queer, right? It's queer. And that's why it's so boring, because everything is queer, right? It's not innovating, right? It's behind the curve, and it's very behind the curve now, because the curve, the culture has moved, and Doctor Who is like 2 years behind, and looks ridiculous. Plus, Russell Davies doesn't want to admit the culture's moved, right? Which is a problem. Doctor Who is an oddly unique place out of every other TV show series in the world. It's been around for over 60 years. It's been revamped not once, but twice. Well, you can know more than that, I would say. I will say revamped in 70. Well, again, you got to say 66. That was a major revamp. 66, 70. 74, 74, 75, it's a new show. 81, 82, it's a new show. I would say the late 80s, so that's 5 revamps in the classic era. Paul McGann, that's a revamp. 2005, Matt Smith. I won't call say Peter Capaldi's a revamp, because it was very tonally similar. So it's 8 revamps before it got to Jodie. Right, and look, and only now, because they did such a terrible job with in the last 7 years, does it need like a Crisis on Infinite Earth reset? Right, you need to just grab all the good stuff and get rid of all the crap with basically everything past 2017. And look, here's the thing: this new era would eclipse the others if it wasn't shit. But the reason it's shit is because it's relentlessly queer, and no one's really in the mood for relentlessly queer Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a blah 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 blah. Each new generation with a show that's been around for so long, is it getting too old to feel fresh? No, it really could feel fresh, and they tried so hard to make it feel fresh, and it failed in every way, because it's betrayed what it is and instead became a show to propagate queer messaging. And again, you can't have it be both, right? That's really the bottom line. You can't have anything be queer and anything else, right? Well, if you have a show about a queer bus driver, it's about him being queer. It's not about him being a bus driver, right? If you have a show about a queer chef, it's always about him being queer. It's never about him being a chef. So this seems to be an article trying to fathom why everybody hates the current era. Because it's queer. I'm sorry. And 97% of the people aren't queer. Right? That's why, if you're struggling, and you clearly are. When Doctor Who was officially cancelled in 89, unofficially cancelled in 89, the BBC had never admitted it was officially cancelled. Been around since 63, but when he revived and revamped the series in 2005, Russell Davies said as much as he and the legions of fans still love the show, it was taken off the air because it had gotten old. It's not because it got stale, right? It got stale. And it was Eric Saward's dissatisfaction with the series that stopped the interesting, talented ideas flowing into it, right? And without that, it just got filled with violence and Nicola Bryant wearing lots of spandex, which honestly, I'm all on board for, right? But that was where it went to its lowest common denominator, which is where it is right now. That's what I guess when you have a show where there's no talent being pumped at you, it goes to the lowest common denominator. And look, I really recommend season 23 on Blu-ray, because that Michael Grade interview with Matthew C is brilliant, and I agreed with him with everything, right? It's just tragic that he left the BBC before season 25, because I am convinced if he watched the first episode of Remembrance of the Daleks, he would have put that on the Radio Times cover and put it like front and center, because Michael Grade can smell good TV, and there's nothing about season 22, right? That was something that wasn't embarrassing to Michael Grave. It was retrograde. It just wasn't working, right? And again, I love that era. I bought Season 22. How many times I bought it on VHS? I bought it on DVD. Now I bought it on Blu-ray, and I love it, right? But objectively, Michael Gray was right. When he looked at it, I can understand why he cringed. Because most of us do, because it wasn't very good. It needed a different script editor. That was really the bottom line. But he left the BBC by was it 88? And I just wish he saw Remembrance of the Daleks. I would love to hear Michael Gray's commentary on Remembrance of the Daleks, because I think he would have looked at it and gone, "This is actually good." Right? He would. It was so contemporary as well, right? The Doctor Ace companionship. So yeah. So again, I will never know, but I would love to. So it hadn't got old. It let itself get old because of a lack of talent being flooded into it, lack of interest in it, and it sunk to the lowest common denominator, which I think is what happened in 2017 onwards. He freshened up with not only with a bigger budget for the 21st century production values and special effects, but also a post-Buffy approach to storytelling. And that's old now, right? Dude, that's 20 years old. And Joss Whedon is like, not the flavor of the month anymore, right? That is genuinely, the whole Buffy's thing is just like tap dancing. It's just like, forget it. I'm so bored with it. And don't get me wrong. I liked the Buffy at the time. Everybody did. I liked Angel. It was the, I guess, one of the leaders in genre TV, right? At the what was it? Late 90s. I can't remember. Hang on, let's look at Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Not the movie. Second. But although the movie Buffy totally hotter than Sarah Michelle Gellar. Well, she doesn't look bad there. What year was it? 97. Yeah. Okay. So this was pre-Battlestar Galactica, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, it was the cultural leader, right? It was 100% the cultural leader for good reason, right? For good reason. So yeah, no, it had a very contemporary storytelling approach, which I really worked for it, right? Storytelling, pushing emotions to the fore and casting major British talent. Acting that. Sorry, Billy Piper was not A-list at the time. People were like, Billy Piper? Really? He was not A-list at all. Both A-list and up and coming. Okay, he turned Doctor Who into an A-list show that attracted a new generation of kids and female fans to watch. Yes, he did. He didn't go with the casting of David Tennant. Stephen Moffat kept the momentum going. I think it should be momentum going for a few years with Matt Smith. Matt Smith was Prime Doctor with Karen Gillan. By the time Chris Chibnall took over the show has begun to fill state. Yeah, again, that's his lack of ability showing. That's really his lack of ability. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to defend Chris Chibnall, which amazes me. Right? That like this the Chris Chibnall era is what the BBC wanted. That is the show and they were going to get it from someone. And that what good did come out from 2017? Here, let's see. Do a search. Best sci-fi 2017 to 2020. I wonder what it's going to say, because there's literally nothing good came out. Should we look at Reddit? No, Goodreads, no. Best sci-fi TV, should we say? Because I really can't think of much that came out. Okay. So we got, Lost in Space, meh. Snowpiercer, I kind of like Snowpiercer, but it's not great, is it? I mean, Annihilation, I like, what year was that? But it's very weird. 2018. Altered Carbon was good for the first. Mandalorian, literally one of the only good shows. 2019. Picard season 3 was good. Maniac was great, but that's not really sci-fi. If you haven't seen it on Netflix, it's worth it. It's really weird. I like it a lot. Yeah, Black Lightning had all those shows going on. Flash. Amazing Stories last about 20. Yeah, a lot of things revamped for streaming. Dark Crystal was shit. V-Wars. Utopia. Yeah, okay. Out the list of what they call the best sci-fi TV for like a 6-year period. Doctor Who isn't even on the list, if you'll notice. The only things I would watch again Legion. Okay, so we got Legion, The Boys, Mandalorian. And then you got Picard Season 3 and Altered Carbon Season 1. It's not much, is it? Maniac's not sci-fi. Right? It's really not me. Yeah, it was a culturally dead era. Right? So, I don't know. So, yeah, look, it was, but the trouble was that was the only show they could make at the time. But I think it's the only show, it's a show that Chris Chibnall really wanted to make as well. It's shit. Right? It began to feel staged. Yeah, and again, that is a problem of the creators, not the property, right? Not the franchise. Especially Doctor Who, which is incredibly mutable, right? And again, and like leaning into all the most boring tropes humanly possible didn't really help it, did it? No, not at all. Then Davis returned to Asher in the Disney Plus era. Not helped by some lackluster scripts, which he wrote, just maintaining enough of the core of the, despite maintaining enough of the core of the audience. It takes a long time to shake them off, right? And thank God the Jodie fans were all gone. They were the worst. They were much worse than the Ncuti fans, right? They were generally much worse. The Disney Plus era of Doctor Who is a revamp of the series with an even bigger budget than before, completely unnecessary and I think detrimental. Before and still popular. Not really. No, it's not. It makes absolutely no cultural impact whatsoever. On what metric would you call it popular? The BBC says it's popular. What's it? BBC says, on for all our completely unpopular shows that everybody hate, the Doctor Who is only mediocrely unpopular. Well done. Okay. Again, Doctor Who has two different generations of fans. This was fine. Nobody had a problem in 2014. I'm sorry. I used to love watching it with my kids, and fans of all eras could get together. Right? It was fine. It was totally fine. I don't know, two different generations. The ones that love the original show that ran from 63 to 89. And the ones who love the revival began in 2005, where they were ended in 2022. No, you have, I would say most people, and it's not everybody in my audience, but I would say the vast majority like Doctor Who 63 to 2017. Right? Anybody who likes 2017 onwards are kids who really don't know better, I would say. Because look, objectively, it's just unwashable power. Although you could say that to me about season 22, and I nearly 5 season 22. It's a good question. But at least, they had like the 21 years of awesome Doctor Who before then, right? You figure that might be a blip. Anyway, Jodie Whittaker. Yeah, I love how they keep trying to legitimize that era. Fuck off. No, look at you have Doctor Who 1963 to 2017, and they got 2017 onwards, which is shit. It's just the way it breaks down, darling. Ones who love the version 6389, the ones who love blah blah, and now the fans and now those fans are complaining the series has become too emo and jokey and repeating tropes they grew up watching as children in the 2000s. It's doing it back. It's dumbed down, right? The show is it got massively dumbed down with Jodie, and I think it's equally and maybe more dumbed down now. Those fans now complain like the fans of the classic era do. It comes down to the same thing. It's not like it used to be. We want the way we like it. It's not. No, I'm sorry. I like Talents of Wen Chiang in the same way I like Tomb of the Cybermen. In the same way, I like The Visitation. In the same way, I like Gridlock. In the same way, I like The Doctor Falls, right? I like all of those. And they all feel like they're from the same show. I'm sorry. You know, Ncuti to Gatwa snogging a bloke feels like a different show. So, it used to be good and engaging, right? And fun and fearless. Now it's boring, right? Now it's derivative. It's behind the curve. And it's just sad, right? And so it can really match the contemporary, world. It's just queer Doctor Who. Nobody cares about. And again, the queer thing is gone. It's over. Right? I hope you enjoyed it. It's over now. The older and longer TV runs, the harder it is to get to keep it fresh and new. Dude, this is so much spin trying to understand why people hate the new era. It's because it's queer shit. And again, most of Jodie fans walked away. They were just here. I don't even know what they were here for, to say whether stunning and brave. I don't know. The most important thing you have to do is attract new viewers without which the series can't survive. And again, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who all make exactly the same mistakes. They lean into contemporary and they forget the core, the essence of the show. They have to rewrite the show, right? They rewrite the property. Make it traditional. Do everything Russell Davis says he's doing, but do it for real. Make it traditional, normal Doctor Who set made in the current day. Which that doesn't mean queer Doctor Who, Russell. How do you Doctor Who fresh and new to attract new viewers instead of long-time fans? You make it Doctor Who. You make the stories good. You make it itself, right? You and again, you can't do that while it's queer. When you added queer into the DNA, it all fell apart. And I'm sorry, you don't. I'm like, well, what difference does it make? Why do you? You're the ones who inserted it in there. I'm sorry. The most important part is to make stories feel like they matter. They don't. And you know why they feel they don't matter? Because Ncuti doesn't feel like the Doctor. When it was trapped on Earth for a year in the Christmas special, he didn't have any problem with it because he's a boring guy who could live on Earth. He is. He's just a boring Doctor Who. Most important ones make the stories feel like they matter and not just save the universe or refers to the destruction of the universe tropes. Well, they did a lot of that. And they did it bad. Like every creative choice was bad. I'm going to bring death to death. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. That is just mind-melting stupid, mate. Why would the destruction of the universe matter if you don't see anyone that matters in danger? Chibnall destroyed the universe and nobody cared. David Moore had been better at that than Chibnall. Well, again, Chibnall is really bad at his job, right? They're friends and peers and they write along the same dynamics. The question is, does the show need new blood? Dr. Alex is the new blood. Yes, it does, right? And not queer blood, new blood. A new perspective, yes. And what would that be? And who could possibly bring that? I would, again, I don't know, but J. Michael Straczynski wanted to do it. That would have been interesting. I also liked Toby Whithouse, right? Toby Whithouse is the natural fit. And what would that be? Who could possibly bring it? There are plenty of wrong answers, but the right answers are out there, and we haven't seen them yet. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I hope Doctor Who survives this. I don't know if it's gonna, which is the sad truth. I do not know if it's going to survive this. I hope it does, though. Moffat has said the Doctor is designed to be robust enough to run forever, flexible enough to keep evolving for each year. Yes, but you need people with the skill and ability to be able to do it, right? Which is not in the current era, I'm afraid. It just isn't. Most of the Doctor is blah, 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 and it hasn't even arrived in its final form yet. Well, I guess we'll find out what it is. You know who else hasn't arrived in the final form? There was one good creative decision made for Shooter's first season, and that was Millie Gibson. Now, why would I say about Millie Gibson? Sunshine, Doctor Who star, Millie Gibson looks incredible. She chokes up the sun in a yellow bikini. Yes, Millie, why would they fire you? It's just like, it's so crazy. We have this incredibly hot white girl, white heterosexual girl with blonde hair, like the absolute standard of like, Western civilization hotness. Why would you not want to go for that? No, not quite queer enough, I'm afraid. Okay, that one is less sexy, but okay. She woke up in a hobbit hut, and that does look a little bit vaginary. She's coming out of me like, well, okay, again, she's a kid. That was like a fun thing for a very rich person, a very rich kid to be able to do. Oh, Millie, you are the only one worth watching this season. Sadly, right? Why would they fire her? The more I look at that, the more I go, what? Well, that's just insane, right? That's just insane. Where is this? After Sutek's last season, season 15, appears to be setting up a main villain from the Fifth Doctor's era. Really? Is it going to be the Guardians? Who do they think it's going to be? Doctor Who's famously very secret when it comes to new episodes, and this new trailer is no different. Okay, the new trailer just came out. Other than a few glimpses of familiar worlds and new creatures, the trailer didn't reveal much of the plot of season 15. Does anybody really care? Well, there's enough to spark curiosity, despite the mixed reception of the show's previous season. Well, they mixed reception. We all hated it. It wasn't mixed. We all said, "Oh, well, that was shit." That was very, very, I think very, very unifying. One aspect of the widely praised by Russell Davis is dedicated to bring back older feature classic through Sutek. You didn't bring back Sutek. That was not really. You're telling me that is Sutek? That little puppy? Fuck off. Oh, and I like dogs. Now it seems to be repeating the trick with the next season. So who's the season 15 trailer teases the Deadly Games is the Eternals from the Enlightenment. Interesting. The recent trailer 15 season answers many questions, references the idea of deadly games are being paid by forces outside the universe. Again, it just seems like hyperbole. This seems very much intentional language that the teasing of an overarching narrative thread for the season rather than something purely metaphorical. Perhaps the Doctor and his new companions will literally have to compete in some dangerous games for mysterious forces to protect the universes from their deadly pans. This seems like a fascinating angle for a season. It would be if it wasn't be like all about Shooter getting his leg over, right? In a stunning and braveness, right? A pantheon of Eternals. Oh God, I hate the pantheon. The similarities are many in the two groups. Mrs. Flood could be another one of the Eternals. There was another article about Mrs. Flood. Is it? That's the novelizations of. Again, I'm looking forward to both of these, right? I think this is really cool. I'm really glad they're doing both. These are coming out. But where was it? Is it over here? I had a Mrs. Flood article. Here. You know what I'll do? I'm going to go to history. For history. I'm going to just look at Mrs. Flood. Let's see what I can find. Mrs. Flood. Is this it? No. Okay, maybe it's this one over here. Okay, let's have a look at this story. Okay, why Mrs. Flood will be crucial to Ruby Sunday's Doctor Who return. Well, yeah, they do seem to be very, very connected. But again, the only reason she has to return is they weren't expecting to have to fire her. And because that was a good creative decision they made. They set all this up with Anita Dobson. That's what they're going to say. So why is it? Why has Ruby Sunday stepped away from the title? She was fired! Oh, for fuck's sake. Who is Mrs. Flood? We don't know. On the surface, she appears to be nothing more than a kind elderly neighbor no, she's come out as being something other than that. But I know, given that Ruby Sunday's mother can make snow, move through time and space, right? And she had nothing but going on her at all, right? And that was so dumb of them. Well, just so many dumb ideas. She appeared in several quick scenes, often interacting with Ruby. Well, yeah, she broke the fourth wall in the first episode, saying, "What's wrong? You never seen a TARDIS before?" Come in, Laura, me the eye. She already featured in the trailer for season 15, and fans of Doctor Who are wondering what her true identity is. Not really, and why she seems so fixated on the Doctor and whatever whenever he's around. Not really. She's spoken directly to the audience in the past, teasing the Doctor's future is one fulfilled with terror. Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath. Anything Rusty Davis says, I don't really believe. Which has hinted that she knows more than she lets on. Yes. But again, you just spent the whole season building up Ruby Sunday's mother, and she was what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you just pissed. And again, Sutek. How badly could you have done that? It was just awful, right? Absolutely awful. She's not just a normal human being living on Earth. Yeah, okay, old fucking news, mate. There have been a wide range of movements. She could be the latest version of the Master, but nothing confirmed on this point. However, one aspect of her character that's clear is that she's going to have a significant role to play in Doctor Who at some point in the future, whenever a true... It's got to be in the next 8 episodes, I'm sorry, or the war between the land and the sea. Right? It's got to be in the next 8 episodes. Because that's all there is. There's no more after. I mean, there might be a BBC version of the show. There's no more of this, Disney show. I wonder if they'll go back to calling it season... Okay, let's say season 3 is not with Disney, but they do it. Will they call that season 17? I don't know. Or season 16, I should say. Right, season 16. What impact could Mrs. Flood have on Ruby Sunday? It's unknown how many episodes Ruby's going to be in. I think 1. I don't know. Throughout season 15. But she's shown in teaser trailer for the next season of Doctor Who, which at least confirms she will be involved. We knew that, right? Well, the Doctor will be getting a brand new companion. It wouldn't be breaking new ground for him to have multiple companions outside. Well, at least it'll be in 4 episodes. Okay, what's this to do with her? When Mrs. Flood could come in is Ruby Sunday is a connection between her and the Doctor. Mrs. Flood has been watching the Doctor come and go from a street, but she has no reason to there is no reason to visit. It could prove difficult for Mr. Flood to continue doing that, which might stop whatever sinister plan. Oh, God. I'm running out of energy reading this shit. And I'm like, it's draining the life out of me. However, if she was to put Ruby Sunday's life in danger, there'll be a high chance the TARDIS would end up coming. Not really. And what about David Tennant's TARDIS? Is he going to come around? No. It was so dumb leaving him with the TARDIS, right? Oh, God, I just wanted to do it for the wheelchair ramp. Oh, God. Which Murray Gold had to trumpet with his big music. Let's watch how awful that moment was again. Lest we forget, right? Lest we forget how shit Doctor Who has become. It's just Doctor Who today is just relentless bloody cringe, right? I think it's the only fair way. It's relentless cringe. The drive isn't opening up. There you go. Doink. Doink. We go, Doctor Who. So it was in. Do I still even have the episode? I don't even know if I do. Giggle while Blue Yonder. Oh, yeah, but I have an MKV, I think, so I can't play it. So who cares? Who cares? Let me see if I can find it from YouTube. We'll do TARDIS wheelchair ramp. Oh, man, I hated that. How to make anything super boring. Yeah, so we'll go. This should download pretty quick. It's thinking about it. Here it comes. How do we keep Doctor Who fresh? Don't have it be shit. I mean, that's really it. That's really it. Down.
He flies off.
Yeah, a bit of crying. And again, this is so dumb. How do we not know this wasn't going to be shit?
What for? We won the game. You get a prize, honey.
And yeah, the use of the honey. Oh god, I hated it.
Here is mine.
And it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Oh, again, so many. Again, the music's awful. Everyone's like just grinning about themselves. Is that the first time we saw the new TARDIS? He does like a run round inside it. Oh no, he's been in there already. Okay, big hug, kind of gay. But who cares? When do we go? When do we see the wheelchair wrap? Is it over here? Oh, no. God, if only it wasn't shit. If only it wasn't shit. Really, that's all I can say. If only it wasn't shit. Okay, so Mrs. Flood is gonna, because I don't know, to bring her and Ruby back together again. Who cares, right? Just who cares? And that's the thing. Like who does care? They say Doctor Who season of his story tease makes Anita's return much more likely. Okay, just cut to the chase. Why could it bring back Anita? Well, again, an unremarkable character in a reasonably dull special. Was going to have an ending when she went to the Time Hotel. She was president of Doctor for a full year. Blah, blah, blah. With the next season giving Anita a large... the current showrunner could be returning to this period with his next season giving her a lot... Well, could be. There's no indication that he is. That's exactly what he did with Empire Death, using the Church and Ruby Road to resolve the big mystery. But it was such a bad resolution. That's a dumb article. I'm sorry, that's just dumb.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.